Welcome to the Illuminati broadcast. Today, I'm going to explain how the sun works. I'm your Messiah, David Moore. Welcome. All right, so first, let's look at Furcus real quick. His sigil. That was the spirit for yesterday because of Saturn's day. That's Furcus. So if you look at it, it's going to be like this. And he would be right here. So when you look at it, you'll notice that there's like three. So that one, 2, 3, and then that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that 1, 2, and then those crosses are right here in the between. Lets you know that there's some crosses right there. So, don't ask me how, but well, maybe. So, whenever they were working on the Ars Goetia, this book, this is what they used. They used coins, medallions, and they would flip the coins over to show different spirits. But the fact that they had it all aligned like this is just amazing. So that's how you know when you're working with the sigils and you look at the diagrams, you're like, why do they pick these weird images? Like, why do they, like, does that make any sense to you? Does that make any sense to you? Well, now it does. So you can see how it works here. And you know that he's in this area, his little triangle right here, his crosses, his little spaces. That's how they created the diagram. That's how they create it. And that's when you know you're like, okay, I'm on the right track of how to decipher it. Because if you look at it, you're like, what the hell does that mean? Before I used to see it as like a knight with a head and his head changes. And yeah, it does change. It does make sense. But yeah, so that's how you interpret it, and then you know that you're like working directly with the spirits and you're doing a really good job. So yeah. So today is the 23rd. Well, let's see what today is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So today must be the 24th. And today would be on the day of Jupiter and Sagittarius. So today would probably be a little bit warmer. This morning there was clouds, so the weather's gonna start changing a little bit. But this is also good because you see Cancer and the moon are right here. Lets you know that you can open a lot of doors. So today's gonna be a door opening day. You also see Jupiter here, which means abundance and wealth, and that refreshing cool water, and also that eagle. So there should be like a lot of like politics right now where they're gonna try to open up a lot of doors. And since it's right next to a sign that is associated with Mars and fire, it could be like a really good day to open up doors for war. And then you have like this cycle right here. So it's like this. Today's gonna be one of those days where all that information finally kind of clicks and makes sense, and it starts rotating, and it's gonna create more power. So for me, I want more war, I want more death, I want more destruction, I want more power. So in order for this to work, whatever spell I'm doing, all I have to do is make sure that that water's channeling. We are seen as water because we're all a body of water. So when they say the beast of the sea, we are all part of that beast. Because the beast rises from us. We create this beast. And fire signs are usually seen as the beast signs. So this would be the horse. So this would be like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse energy. And the 4 horsemen are these 4 directions, or the 4 elements, and or the 4 seasons, right? And then you have, this is a door opener, this is the sun, this is a gateway. So today, there's gonna be some energy that's gonna open up doors to find keys to answers. That's how you interpret it. It doesn't have to be so exact, and it doesn't have to be so precise. All you have to know are these basics, and then these basics, because this is where the energy's working today. Yeah, and that's the good thing about it. It's like you don't have to try too hard to like have the answer, to get it right. Just know that it's working. And just know that it's doing its job. Otherwise, you're gonna like really constrain yourself and make things stressful. If you have a gift for explaining it and being able to be more precise, then that's good because that's your gift, right? Some people have that gift. All right. So, anyways, this is 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52. So today's spirits are going to be 51 and 52. That's Balaam and Alokes. So Balaam is the 51st spirit, is Balaam or Balaam. He is a terrible, great, and powerful king. He appears with 3 heads. The first like that of a bull, the second is like that of the man, and the third is like that of a ram. So this is the bull. So at first his head appears like that of a bull. Let's see if it matches up right here. Yeah, you have these bull's energy right here, and it connects, right? So it lets you know that when the day rises, he's first like a bull, and then he's like a man. If we go up here to the air signs, they are very much like men, right? Because Gemini and Cancer are Castor and Pollux. Castor and Pollux were twins, demigods. So these are the men, right? And then they're going into this energy of the ram. So Mars is seen as the energy of the ram. So he's going into this energy of the ram. So it lets you know that he's, this is what he looks like first. So he's going through the day in that sense. And you can kind of see that in his sigil work, right? He's spreading out, he's starting and then spreading out. So like he's starting, spreading out, and he goes on, right? And then he starts bouncing in these areas. And he's a sun, so the sun is a king type energy. It's also a lion energy. It's associated with gold, miracles, and performing like miracles and experiments. Also God is seen as the sun because the sun is so powerful, right? I think I was watching something, well I didn't watch it yet, but this girl, she was talking about like fallen angels and Jesus and things like that, and it's like, girl, like, but I think she was trying to make a difference. Like, she's like, those are fallen angels, Jesus is not. No, Jesus is a fallen angel. Get used to it. All right, because he was up there and now he's down here with us, right? So that means he's a fallen angel. Like, if he was a perfect angel, he would be up there all the time. But no, he comes down here and he helps us. So that means that's a fallen angel. Get used to it. The sun is a fallen angel because it moves and then it falls. It moves and then it falls. It goes up and down or around the pole. All right, he has the tail of a serpent and flaming eyes. That's pretty cool. He has the tail of a serpent and flaming eyes. Well, if we look here, we see these flaming eyes. The sun is the flaming eyes. The tail of the serpent, what could be the lion. This Libra, it's moving this way. So it lets you know that he's like very powerful in the evening. Like today in the evening, he's going to be very powerful. Right before the sun starts setting, like in the heat of the day. I would say that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the evening. He's going to be very powerful. And obviously Mars, this fire energy is when the sun, so that's the sun setting, right? You can imagine the sun as an orb right here at 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's see, he rides upon a furious bear and carries a bush hawk upon his fist. All right, so when you look here, the earth signs are usually seen as the bear signs, right? Like in Revelations, they're like, well, he has the feet of a bear, blah, 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 blah. That's what this means. Like, he's grounded. He has that strength, the stability. And they'll say it in a negative way because they're like, he's so powerful, we can't stop him, right? And then he has a bush hawk upon his fist, and Jupiter is an eagle. Zeus is an eagle. Zeus can transform into an eagle, so it lets you know that he has that power, right? He's holding that goose hawk, and then plus, since Sagittarius is seen as a man on a horse or a centaur, you can think of the bottom part right here as that bear. So he's on top of a bear with the goose hawk, right? Yeah. Anyways, he speaks with the hoarse voice, giving true answers of things past, present, and to come. He makes men to go invisible and also to be witty. All right, so the sun is setting. The sun is turning invisible. You can't see it anymore. It doesn't mean that it's not there. It just means that it's out of sight. So it's going around the pole, and while it's going around this pole, you can't see it anymore. So the sun starts setting around 5. So it lets you know that's the time that it's going to make you invisible. And it makes you witty. So just to let you know, when the sun sets, you better be witty. You better be ready, because the night comes, so you gotta have fire, you gotta have light, you have to have electricity, you have to have food, you have to have shelter, you have to have transportation, you have to be able to get home, you have to have a lot. You got to use your brain to get home, right? This is when people are going home in their cars, and they have to drive and maneuver through it, and it's pretty easy. They make it easy for them, but they get stuck in traffic sometimes, you know, so they have to be witty. And then somebody's already going home, they're getting the food ready for their husband, etc. Yeah, so this is how you can use the Ars Goetia to not only manipulate people, but control systems and be able to understand them marketing, right? But we'll get into that a little bit later. Right now we're going to describe the diagram. But okay, so that was 51. So now we have an idea of how Balaam works. And then if you look here, you can see that there's like this little arrow letting you know like that it's going up, that it's branching out, it's going up, and then it starts bouncing, right? So let's try to make that look a little bit better. There's that hook, it fans out, it points here, and it starts bouncing in these directions. Once you kind of get an idea of how the sun works, you can understand a little bit more. There's a part in this book that tells you like you light some fires in a house, like candles in a house. No, you light some candles during an earthquake and it'll build you a house. And it'll teach you how the sun moves and how the chariot, how the dragons pull the sun around like on a chariot. It's very interesting. It might not make sense right away, but once you do the rituals and you figure it out, it becomes very plain as day, right? Anyways, let's go back to Balaam. And you might not be at that level. You might not understand it. You might not be... Let's just put it this way. If you believe in Jesus, that's the first part, right? Because then you know that you're protected by his higher power, by him, by God, by the true God, right? And then once you know that, you can start saying, oh, everything is God. Okay, that makes sense. Then you're not so afraid of being able to experiment with the spirits. And it's not for everybody, because not everybody has that connection with Jesus. And you could be the most best person in church, super pure and holy, and it still won't do you any good because you're just not made for it. You don't have a gift for it. Only certain people have a gift for it, and it's a Levite thing, it's an Ashkenazi thing, and it's a noble and royal blood. So if you don't have any of those criterias, then you probably aren't going to be very well versed in this, and it won't make a lot of sense to you because it's passed down from father to son. So my dad taught me, his dad taught him, and so on and so on. And so finally when it came to me, I had to pick up all the pieces and put it together, right? Yu-Gi-Oh! Alright, let's see. So he tells you of things past, present, and to come. That's good. So like if you do a lot of divination, because right in the West it's represented by the cups. This hourglass symbol right here is a cup. The heart is a cup. That the cup of Joseph was used to divinate. So you have Jupiter right there, right next to Sagittarius, lets you know that you can do divination for the future. And for answers, true things, past, present, to come. So right now would be like a good time for people to plan things. Like, all right, I want to go to war with this person. I want to do this and I want to do that. And people are afraid of all these things. Like right now, people are afraid of gas prices. Those should be lowered. When we win the war, the gas prices will go lower. Price for food will go lower. Cost of living will go lower. You'll get more income. You'll have more freedom, more leisure activities, etc., because we're going to have control over a system. And that's what we need. Right now, we don't have complete control because we're at war with it. So we need to put all our resources into winning the war. And once we like eradicate the enemy, you can take control of the Strait of Hormuz and be able to control the income that goes through there. And you will be very rich. And that's what we need to do as Americans, right? Because we just know how to take care of money better. We're just born for this. This is our kingdom. The whole world is our kingdom. We're responsible for it all. You gotta get used to that responsibility, right? And if you can't handle the responsibility, bye. There's a lot of places that need help and you could go there. All right, 52, Alokes. The 52nd spirit is Alochis or Alokas. He is a duke, great, mighty, and strong, appearing in the form of a soldier, riding upon a great horse. His office is like that of a lion. His face is like that of a lion, very red and having flaming eyes. His speech is hoarse and very big. His office is to teach the art of astronomy and all the liberal sciences. He bringeth unto thee good familiars. He rules over 36 legions of spirits. Okay, so Balaam rules over 40. Let's check out what 40 is real quick. 40 is Raum. Ra, he is a great earl and appears first in the form of a crow. At the command of the exorcist, he puts on human shape. His office is to steal treasures out of kings' houses and to carry it whether he is commanded, and to destroy cities and dignities of men, and tell things past, and what is, and what will be, and cause love between friend and foes. He was the Order of Thrones. This is Raum right here. He's the tabernacle, this top one right here. You enter in, you go to the Holy of Holies, etc. But he's an earl, so yes, Sagittarius is an earl. See the red? See the red? That's the energy of the earls. Earls are fire. War, Aries, Mars. So that already lets you know Balaam has, not only is he a king, but he has command over the forces of fire. And that's what the sun is, right? Made out of fire. Provides us heat. And it tells you he's on a horse, so that lets you know you're on the right track, because Sagittarius is on a horse, right? Wow, it all connects. It's so simple. You just have to study it. You just have to understand it. And that's what I'm here for, just to give you a shortcut, because you'll never figure it out, because you humans are pretty dense in the skull. Entertainment purposes only. This is Castle Demon Lord. It's a role-playing game for the humans on planet Earth, and I'm just teaching you how it works, because in this game, I'm the Messiah, I'm God, I'm the Dungeon Master, I'm David Moore, Ben David. So I'm the great rabbi, right? Moreno, I'm the great rabbi. Ben David, David Jr. So my name is David Jr. Moreno. So that means Ben David Moreno. So Moreno Ben David. That means great rabbi, great teacher, son of David, right? And then that just makes me the king, right? Because King David. All right. Cool. We're figuring it out. Prophecy, things the Jewish people couldn't do, because I don't know why. Maybe Hollywood did. What my theory is that Donald Trump knew all this stuff. They have to work from behind the scenes, and they can't work intermittently for whatever reasons. Maybe there's some force there of people trying to like destroy each other, or there's some kind of hierarchy or rank or rules they have to follow that they can't like interact with me physically, metaphysically, like right in my face, but they can do it from a distance. And if I figure it out, maybe there's a chance that we can work together. Who knows? I don't know. Only one way to find out is just to keep working our magic, right? All right, so Alokes is a duke. He is a great duke, mighty and strong, in the form of a soldier riding upon a great horse. His face is like that of a lion. All right, so one thing to remember is that Mars is the sun. The sun is Mars. They're the same planet, the same force. Venus is also the sun. These are all the sun. You know what will be interesting is if the moon was the sun, but how would I put this? Without the intensity of the light, right? I don't know, just the theory. All right, anyways, so we have the sun right here, and he's Mars, right? Mars and the sun are the same thing. He is part of this, so it lets you know that he's not only part of Mars, he's also part of the sun, this fire. He's both. So that's why he says he has a lion's face, right? And in the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, you'll see these like centaurs, but they have lion faces. So that lets you know and they're pretty powerful. So that's what this is, right? So you have that. Very red and flaming eyes. He's red, he has flaming eyes. Yeah, his office is to teach art of astronomy. So this is astronomy and liberal sciences. So he teaches you how to be free. And he brings unto thee good familiars. So since the day is ending, he brings you good news, right? Familiars. Familiars are not just your spirit animal. They're a lot of things. Familiars are just good blessings. So they could be money. They could be information. They could be interesting synchronicities, anything that is like you would consider a blessing, like God bless you, like oh my God, I'm so blessed, somebody gave me food. That's a familiar, because he's familiarizing himself with you by giving you goodness, right? So that's how God familiarizes himself with you. And I do the same thing when I work my magic. I familiarize myself with the universe. Before, I used to do it in a way where I kept us separate. Now I'm doing it where I bring us together. So now we can actually see like, oh, King David's real. Yeah, he's the Messiah. He's really doing all of this. I'm teaching you guys, because before you were like, there's somebody doing it. We don't know who it is, but somebody's doing it. Somebody's moving us along in this world, but we don't know who. And before it was like, oh snaps, I see King David, but I can't reach him. But now I'm bridging that gap. So now they can be like, oh, King David is this guy right here is King David. He's real. So that's how that works. Okay, let's look at his so on his sigil, those are the gates, the golden gates. Those are the golden gates in Israel, the ones that King Jesus, well, me, I'm supposed to walk through, right? I'm supposed to walk through those gates, but they're closed. They have bricks on them. So spiritually, you're supposed to walk through them. If you can do it through your spirit, then that proves that you're Jesus, right? I can do that all the time, like night and day. But it's also this part. So like it goes from day to night because it turns nighttime once the sun hits that horizon and it sets. That's what that means. And it brings the dead back to life, right? So you're alive, you're dying, and you're coming back to life. You're dying, coming back to life, dying, coming back to life. That's why they're like, well, Jesus, the Jews believe this too. They believe Jesus is supposed to walk through those gates, bring the dead to life, and walk through the gates with him. And that's what that means, the day and the night. So we already do that every day. As if I keep existing, the world keeps existing, right? If I cease to exist, the world cease to exist. Simple as that. Alright, so let's show you how the sun works. I think we only have 10 minutes for it, but let's see if I can explain it, and if not, then I'll make another video for it. Alright, let me get my wand. This is my iron rod because red represents iron. It represents Mars, okay? And this gold represents the sun, but we obviously have the shape of the moon, so you get both sides of it, right? So it's just a straightforward, this is the perfect tool for the Ars Goetia. Alright, so what we see in this world is, let's see if I can, oh well. Alright, this is south, this is south, this is north. What we see is the sun, when we're moving through the day, in the east, it rises, right? The sun rises. It goes above our heads in the evening, and then it starts setting. That's what we see. So Mercury, Venus, the sun, Mars, the moon, Jupiter, Mercury again. We're seeing the sun rise and set. This is the horizon, right? And then this is the latitude or longitude, whatever it's called. All right, so when in reality the sun is doing this. This is the pole, this is the sun, right? The sun is moving around the pole. This would be 6 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the noon when it's closest and heating you up. This is 6 p.m. This is 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. because you can't see the sun anymore, right? It's rotating around this. It's rotating. So this is the sun. This is perfect, actually. The sun's rotating. 6 o'clock in the evening, nighttime, 11 o'clock, 12 a.m., right? Or is that 12 p.m.? No, it's 12 p.m. No, 12 a.m., 12 a.m. 12 a.m. at night, right? You can't see the sun. That's Libra. And then it starts pulling out, and then you got 6 a.m. Then you have 12 p.m. when you can see the sun, and then etc., etc. And the sun's rotating like this. And we're watching it. And we're on the inside. So we're in here like this. And the sun is in the middle, and it's rotating around this pole. Does that make sense? I hope it does. The fact that we can use this to explain it, pretty powerful. And Japanese people, whoever is doing the esoteric stuff, you guys are flawless because you guys know everything to a T. That's why people say Japanese people are the children of Jesus, because it must be true. Because no American ever thought of this stuff, just to let you know. Well, except for that guy that created Mormonism and the Scientologies. Yeah, so Scientology is pretty cool. When we look at Yu-Gi-Oh!, Tom Cruise is Pegasus. Before Tom Cruise made that one movie, Fabled or Legend or something. And that was pretty advanced movie for back then. So he's Pegasus, right? He's this guy with great ideas. He's in Scientology. We don't see what's really happening behind closed doors. We don't really know what's happening in his life. Pegasus flies. He makes the Maverick movie. He's flying around. He loses the love of his life. Nicole Kidman, I guess. No, I think I'm the love of his life. Just let's be real. He released his movie on my birthday. Wow. Okay. Yeah, May 27. What? Okay. Yeah. So now we're learning a lot about how Illuminati works, how the sun works, how astrology works, how the Torah. This is the Torah. This is the ephod. This is the Elon. This is the tabernacle. This is the Bible. This is Hindu. Everything. This is all the religions in one. This is the Tower of Babel. This is everything. This is the DNA molecule for the universe. This is the template that God used to create the world. This is the third temple. You are this. We are this. I am this. This is a snapshot of reality. All right? So that's how that works. I love how I just figured out how to use that wand to express like day and night. We have that wand, right? It's rotating around this axis. It's going back and forth between this axis. It rises in the morning. We see it. It hits us. It starts setting. It goes away. We can't see it no more. But it's on the other side of the earth. And then it comes back out. We see it again. The sun rises. Hits noon. Sets. Rises. Noon. Sets. Rises, noon, sets. But it's on the other side. So when the sun is rotating around this pole, we see this. But it's actually doing this. It's rotating. But we see this because it's above us, right? We're like, oh, cool, the sun's moving. But it's actually doing this. If we were to look at it straight from us, it's rotating like this. But this is how it expresses itself. And then this one is showing it how it's rotating around. So it's like, you can't see me. It's still morning time. Oh, you can start seeing me. I'm getting hotter. I'm getting colder. And now I'm gone. And then I'm back. And then I'm gone. And then I'm back. Yes. NASA. I don't know what to say about NASA. It's cool. We love it. But this is the real NASA. This is the real truth. This is the real way the universe works. The real way the world works. The way the sun works. The sun is the center of attention. Well, the pole, actually. And the sun's rotating around that pole. And it gives us life. The ancients knew this. The Babylonians knew this. The Jewish people knew this. Everything that existed knew this. It's only until recently we had to kind of explain it and, you know, bend the truth a little bit, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's cool. But that big galaxy, it's right here. It's compressed because we're on the inner Earth. So if you can imagine the Earth and we're inside of it, and you go all the way to the sun, you're gonna have to pass through the galaxies and then pass back out. There's probably like a vast expansion between us and it's just, that's how it is. It's crazy. It might not make sense, but I believe that things shrink and expand and we don't realize it. So if we were to go up, we probably shrink. But so maybe it just, well, that's pressure, right? If you go really deep down into the ocean, it squeezes you. So if we were to go to the center of the earth, which would be where the sun is at, we'd probably get condensed and crushed and turned into energy. And then expanded back out into the universe. Who knows? We don't know, because we can't reach that far, because everything will just break before it even gets there. I think we've made that clear. Like, they say that they sent satellites to the sun. I mean, they're really good at making... If you know that they're great at doing special effects in Hollywood, I'm pretty sure they're good at special effects in reality, right? But that's magic. This is all magic. Magic is just a way to explain how science works, how religion works. Magic is just liberal sciences. That's what magic is, liberal sciences. it just explains everything. How noise is made, how fire is created. You got the air, you get the fire, you get the flint, sparks, the air combusts. It creates sparks, that fire burns through the wood. It creates this heat. It starts turning into ashes, etc. You throw water on it, it's gonna completely burn it out. We know that, basic magic, right? Basic liberal sciences. But yeah, so now we have a little bit better of an explanation of what today looks like, what tomorrow's gonna look like, and let's just enjoy the day. I want to just mention about the story about Capricorn, because Noah is also represented by that. You know, you get that flood energy, but you see Capricorn right here and Capricorn right here next to Pisces, because Capricorn is a fish, well, half goat, half fish. They said that Noah pulled along a giant on top of a horse, and that horse was a unicorn. It was a giant unicorn. So you can kind of see that, right? That man on top of a horse, but it's a unicorn because it has a horn. And they usually show like the unicorn is like half goat, half horse, half narwhal. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's why when they examine the horn and they're like, it's a narwhal horn. Maybe because it's part narwhal and part goat and part horse. Who knows? Anyways, yeah. The dodo bird theory. I love that one. That one's really fun. But anyways, we'll just move on because we don't want to make our videos too long. And I hope you guys are having a great day. Sukuman says hello. My fish, Sarase, is right there with his little plants. That's a pretty cool little cabinet thing I have now. I have my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in there and a bell to ring it like ding, and my art supplies down there. So cool stuff, right? All right, catch you later. Bye.